Alright guys, welcome back to another one. In today's video, we've got some very interesting stuff to talk about in regards to Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically, some brand new findings that came out of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Premium Showcase demo build. You guys should know that last week, this ended up getting leaked onto the internet somehow, and out of it, the biggest find was, of course, the prototype CG cinematics for both Frozen as well as Verum Rex. Now, I did talk about how Square Enix are actively trying to get content creators to remove any of the prototype footage. Obviously, I complied. I removed my video talking about it. It's a little bit disappointing, but understandable nonetheless. That footage was never meant to reach the public eye. There has been some other stuff that I think people are going to find quite interesting that's been found within that demo build. Now, here's the thing. There is a chance that Square Enix and Disney also don't want any of this stuff, even though it's really minor stuff in all honesty, perhaps maybe aside from one thing that is quite exciting. So there is a chance that Square Enix might ask me to remove this video. Personally, I think this will be fine just because in the past we've talked about a lot of the findings via data mining towards all of the Kingdom Hearts games. So a big thanks to Lusu for these findings. We have 9 things here that I want to talk about. The first thing we got right here is a beta version of the loading screen for the game. So, as we know, Kingdom Hearts 3 uses Kinkstagram, which, a little bit cringe admittedly. It is a take on Instagram, but in the universe of Kingdom Hearts. This right here is the first version of that. I think it was always intended for this to be a Kinkstagram social media thing within Kingdom Hearts for the loading screens, just because, of course, we get the gummy phone in the game. As we can see, the hashtags on the loading screen are still here. We can see that this was posted by Mickey, catfishing as Sora. Very nice there, Mickey. With a very basic blue Kingdom Hearts pattern in the background. So this one is really interesting. In the files, there exists some HUD icons for Terra. Now we know that in the game, Terra doesn't exist as a party member. Lusu mentioned here that he exists within Kingdom Hearts 3, but when you load him in as an ally, he's apparently some T-posing, broken, teleporting ally. I love that for Terra. This means, of course, that he doesn't actually have any code inbuilt to make him a fully working party member. But seeing these HUD icons certainly suggests that perhaps at one point, Keyblade Graveyard may have gone a little bit differently, where we actually had Terra as a party member. He did get his ass beat after we finally pulled him from the grasp of Terra's Xehanort, but still, it would have been a cool scenario if, say, we versed Xemnas, Ansem, and young Xehanort as Sora with, say, Roxas and Terra as our party members, rather than Mickey and Riku. The reason why I say these two is Lusu also found a potential Roxas and Terra joint team attack. I can definitely picture some sort of insane version of Roxas's Magic Hour Limit Break attack, combined it in with Terra's ultimate cannon. Just something completely insane. Both Roxas and Terra, yes, even Terra, seeing the potential of Lingering Will. We know both of these characters are incredibly strong. Bringing both of their powers together would make for one flashy team attack. Lusu also managed to find an unused Sora HUD icon. This one right here, it looks like he's choking on a broccoli, or perhaps maybe he's burnt his mouth on a Hot Pocket. I don't know. Unsure what this would be used for, because obviously if we look at the other ones, we've got the out of combat HUD face, the in combat HUD face, the taking damage HUD face, the very low health HUD face. So what could this one mean? Perhaps maybe when Sora dies, the HUD will quickly change. Doesn't really make sense to have that though, because you'd only see the HUD for a few seconds. Perhaps this was maybe a status effect placeholder. Here we've got some placeholder Tetsuya Nomura art of Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora. This is a lesser known piece of Tetsuya Nomura's of Sora. This, I believe, is one of the very first arts he did for the design of Sora in KH3, and clearly they used it here for a while as the title screen artwork. Lusu even managed to import the very first version of the title screen that was found within this demo build into the full version of KH3 on PC. The other interesting thing here too is it uses an orchestral version of Kingdom Hearts 2's version of Dearly Beloved, because at the time they didn't have the KH3 rendition ready. This is quite interesting because I personally did play that premium showcase demo of KH3, and there wasn't a traditional title screen there. This was obviously something that was still deep within the files. It was very much just select what level you want to go into, Toy Box or Olympus, and you go from there. So cool to see this, and especially this artwork. While it has floated around the internet a little bit, it's definitely one of the lesser known pieces of Nomura's. Another really interesting thing that Lusu found was a mock-up image of gameplay for KH3 within the files. This is very real, this is very official, and it heavily resembles those very strange bootleg looking deviant art images of fake Kingdom Hearts worlds. I don't know if you guys used to Google image search Kingdom Hearts 3 back in the day when you were younger and you'd come across this kind of a thing. Well, this right here is a very real official mock-up image. We can see that Square used the Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora model right here, flying on an untextured version of the Vapor Wing Heartless. We can also see the concept art for the Raging Vulture Heartless and an untextured version of an actual 3D model of the Raging Vulture Heartless. Clearly right here they are depicting the fight against the Raging Vulture boss within the Caribbean world, though interestingly enough, if we take a look at the heads-up display, we'll notice Woody and Buzzer here. The HUD is quite interesting though. Like, again, keep in mind this is all placeholder. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you'll notice how the health bars and stuff, as well as the command menu, is sort of on a slant, so perhaps at one point they were thinking about possibly slanting the heads-up display. I'm glad they never decided to do that. The design of Sora's health bar and information, though, is very much resembling that of what we saw within the reveal trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2013. And even looking at Sora, Donald, and Goofy, the renders that they used here in the mock-up are the exact same renders that we see in that trailer. We've got two beta images of the Caribbean world. The first one right here is just some basic gameplay. The only interesting thing here is the HUD icon for Sora's head looking a little bit different, and the health bar for the pirate ship also looks different here too. Clearly an early version. I'm going to talk about the Cars world here, as the video where I talked about that was unfortunately removed. For the people that didn't get that information, Cars was a tentative world for Kingdom Hearts 3. This was thanks to the 13th Vessel, who found reference to Cars within a world list for Kingdom Hearts 3 within this demo build, mentioning that Cars was apparently tentative, so this means that at one point in development, Square Enix were considering Cars to be a world in the game. Now, talking more about Cars, I can definitely imagine that if it were to be an actual world in Kingdom Hearts, I can imagine it more so being a mini-game world. Like, how do you really take the concept of Cars and infuse it into Kingdom Hearts with Heartless and combat? A little bit tricky to do so. I could more so see this being a mini-game world dedicated to racing. And the races actually being Heartless Cars. Oh god, no, please don't bring that guy back. Anything else but that guy. The 100 Acre Wood is meant to be Kingdom Hearts' mini-game world. There's generally no real threat going on there. There's no Heartless. You pretty much just go there and engage in different mini-games. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3's version of the 100 Acre Wood sucked. I'm sorry to be blunt, but it wasn't good. It's just a collection of match 4 type mini games. What we got in KH1 and KH2 was times better. So in place of the 100 Acre Wood, I way would have preferred a Cars world with a racing mini game. And finally, which is probably the coolest find out of this collection, would be the very first version of Verum Rex, first of all known as Invictus. This art right here shows us a more Yozora looking version of Toy Box Sora, obviously though as a human and not a toy. These clothes resemble Yozora's a little bit more so, and we can also notice that Sora's eyes, just like Yozora, have 2 different colors. We've also got a beta version of the Verum Rex mini game that's within the Toy Box world with the Invictus title. And fun fact, Invictus means invincible or unconquerable. One of the lines that Yozora says within the secret episode is that he doesn't lose. What's more is, within the Toy Box world, Rex constantly refers to Sora as being Yozora, as he closely resembles him. Now, if Sora had a design like this within the Toy Box world, then I can totally see it. Kinda makes me think that that line was based off of this first original design here of Verum Rex, or the Invictus thing. This was clearly meant to be the box art of Verum Rex, which we can see the finalized version sitting in the video game store in the Toy Box world. We know this because at the top of this beta image it says Play Plus, which is the console that exists within Toy Story. There is a really interesting mystery though surrounding this Invictus image, because apparently it has been found before. I came across a Reddit post titled, "Does anyone know anything about a supposed leak of Kingdom Hearts 3 on an FTP server, where a logo with the name Invictus appeared?" They go on to mention one YouTuber said that Yuzora's "I don't lose" phrase when defeating Sora referred to an ancient Verum Rex name, which he couldn't talk about. Referring to the above, there were a few comments saying if it referred to the supposed leaked logo of Kingdom Hearts Invictus. The FTP server is in reference to the leak that happened back in 2017. This would of course be around the time that this image was probably first created, and so it's very possible that this image right here of KH Invictus was somewhere on that FTP server that ended up getting leaked. The thing is, the only stuff that managed to get into the public from that leak was the Monsters Inc. world. There was also some frozen stuff there that only very few people saw, but interesting to know that this Invictus thing has been floating around for a little while, with quite literally almost no one knowing about it. I would love to get to the bottom of this and where this person saw KH Invictus all these years ago. This Reddit post is 2 years old now. However guys, that is all of the interesting stuff found in the Premium Showcase demo. Thank you to both Lusu and 13th Vessel for doing some digging, unearthing some pretty cool finds. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other social media platforms. Big thank you to my wonderful patrons. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon.